in 8th place on the West leaderboard with 38 league points, just making it in on tiebreakers. It's a player from Finland, Rag, representing Team Twilight Knights. So how long have you been playing Shadowverse?
I started playing Shadowverse in December 2016 in the Great Rise of Bahamut expansion.
What are your favorite classes to play?
I like playing Portal Crafts, and I also like Shadow Crafts, and I also really like some Bloodcraft decks, but I don't like aggro decks in general.
Not a fan of aggro, spoken like a true skilled player. But if you were to describe your play style, how would you do that with 3 words?
I mean, I would consider myself a very consistent player. I would also consider myself a very analytical player, and I would consider myself to be a very quick player in terms of time I take during turns.
How do you try and figure out a meta?
I figure out the meta by looking at data from other tournaments and practicing different decks with my team.
What benefits do you think there are from being part of a team or a clan as you prepare for SVO?
By being a part of the team, you gain access to some information from other good players, and you have playing partners that are high level.
What are some of your favorite moments from competing in SVO?
If there's something I regret in SVO, that would definitely be a game in the last SVO from September when on round 5, I missed lethal against KTZ, and I was playing Crystallized Haven. I kind of just forgot that you could Evo Jean without playing 2 followers, that you could Evo it manually. So I just lost that game. If I had Evo'd it, I would have won the game, and I would have gone 6-0. So there's that. These things happen though to every single player.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that either. Yeah. Wow, interesting. I've never done that.
I kind of like I posted my hand after the game to like the CK group chat to say that this hand is absolutely awful. None of these cards do anything at all. And then Satchfeeder just said to me, "You have lethal in hand." So,
dang.
Yeah.
What was your best play this year in SVO?
One game that really reminds me of like this, probably the best play I did this year was a Wrathblood against Control Portal matchup earlier this year, where I think I calculated like my odds of winning the game, and I essentially the only way I thought that I could win the game was by board locking them on like turn 5 and passing like three turns in a row to get the lethal from my hand. And I ended up winning the game on like turn 9. And they were board locked for like over half the game. And that was a really fun game in my opinion. Probably not for the opponent though.
As this is your first time in Contenders Cup, I'm curious, what was your journey like getting here?
In 2021, I first started playing the game competitively. I didn't get much results that year. In 2022, I missed the Contenders Cup by 1 point. I managed to top that year once. I also topped the wildcard tournament, but I ended up missing out just barely on the Contenders Cup position. And this year, I barely got in by points with a tiebreaker against KSLVD.
Wow, that's amazing. What a difference a single point makes. What's your favorite card or character from the game?
My favorite card in the game is Deus Ex Machina. I like the classic artifact playstyle a lot, and I think it allows for lots of options, and it's generally just a really interesting card design in my opinion. And it is not as blatantly broken as something like Augmentation Bestowal, for example.
If you could go back to a particular rotation or meta, what would it be?
If I could go back to a particular expansion or meta, it would probably be post-mini expansion Darkness over Velsar. I personally really liked that meta. I think that both of the top decks in the meta back then, Lasso Shadow and Artifact Portal, were both really interesting and complex decks that required lots of different options, different piloting decisions, and generally speaking, were just interesting decks to play.
Sweet. Yeah, thanks for joining us. I'm glad you got in this year, close last year, and now you finally get to enjoy the Contenders Cup. So good luck.
Yeah, thank you. I think I'm the best Shadowverse player in Finland. I don't think that's debatable by any means.